Hi-ho, Tudor-minded people. It's Philadelphia Carrie for Tudor Time Machine. The word I share with you this week is Geck. There is a proverb, all's well that ends well. Yet I say, all's well that ends. The end has come betwixt R.B. and my sweet self, and I say, all is well. I admit it. I have been a fool. I have been the Geck and gall of R.B.'s unkind usage. Now, my fellow ladies-in-waiting and I were one night prating of our lovers, my Lady Bevel lamenting the consistency of her amour, sang the old song, "Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more, men were deceivers ever, one foot in sea and one on shore, to one thing constant never." And I, fresh from a charming tete-a-tete with R.B., and, I confess, having taken more strong wine than I am accustomed to, did protest that my R.B. was true and chaste. My Lady Bevel did laugh and prattle and jingle till I was quite annoyed. I declared that if she could bring me proof that she had bedded my gallant, I would beg her pardon, humble myself to her greater sense, and relinquish to her a cunning bit of black work lace that I was storing up for my own usage. She agreed. Oh, I was vexed, when not 2 days later she appeared in my chamber holding up not only one of R.B.'s hose, but a pair of garters that I had stitched the wretch myself. She told me such details of the body of that foul R.B. that could only be known by close, very close observation. Oh, I owned myself a fool, shed a few crocodile tears, not for R.B. so much as for my own honour, and vowed the man, dead to me, I shall be his Geck no longer.
Geck. How now, Tudorphiles, what think you? If you're new here, I'm Gage.
I'm Jessica.
And we're here with Philadelphia Carrie for Tudor Word of the Week.
Don't miss a word, and listen to the Tudor Time Machine story project. So diverting. And I pray bid you, do not be a Geck. Tell a ningle, and ring the little YouTube bell.
Tudorphiles, thank you for listening. Every one of you has the wit of Rosalind and the heart of Cordelia.
And don't be shy about writing to Philadelphia on YouTube or suggesting words, because we love hearing from listeners.
How do you spell our Tudor word this week, Philadelphia?
It is spelled G-E-C-K.
And it means a fool or an idiot.
And it can also be used as a verb, meaning to cheat or trick.
Philadelphia, I'm so sorry that R.B. cheated on you with your friend and made you feel like a Geck.
I too regret it. I had too much faith in the man.
You tried the chastity test so popular in Elizabethan and Jacobean plays on Burbage, and he absolutely failed.
I don't think I've ever read any play where the chastity test is used on a man. That's kind of nifty, Philadelphia. You came up with that yourself.
No, that never happens. It's always the women who get tested.
One of my favorite stories in the delightful book, The Decameron, tells of the good Griselda and the chastity test set on her by her husband. It is so amusing.
Amusing?
Oh, certainly. Lovers should be tried, not trusted.
Well, now we think trust is necessary to have a good relationship.
Trust? Good relationship? Oh my, how tedious. If one trusts one's lover, how dull life is. There is no spark, no fire, no cunning stratagems, no angry words, no grovelling for forgiveness, no painful adieus. What would you do with all your time?
But look what happened with Burbage. You tested him, he failed, and now it's all over between you two.
Oh, I shall confess it. I was tiring of the man. In truth, I would have forgiven him his dalliance, but 'twas a fine excuse to end the thing. I am no Geck for Richard Burbage, a mere player. He was always beneath me.
I got it.
So I've read that Shakespeare's play Cymbeline was probably inspired by the story in the Decameron that Philadelphia mentioned. And Probably the most important plot point in Cymbeline is this chastity test Posthumus Leonatus sets for his wife Imogen.
Posthumus Leonatus is a strange name to our ears. It means that he was born after his father Leonatus died. So he's posthumous Leonatus. It's actually quite straightforward, but also strange.
Right. He's an orphan. His father was dead before he was born. And then actually, I think his mother died in childbirth. So it all fell apart pretty quickly there.
And he marries Imogen, the daughter of King Cymbeline.
Indeed. And Imogen weds Posthumus without her father's permission. He is far below her in rank. She is a foolish chit to mate below her station.
Philadelphia, a lot of people think Imogen is one of the best female characters Shakespeare ever wrote. She is smart, passionate, valiant, tough. She likes to dress up like a man, which is always fun. She's great.
Oh, that may all be so. And yet she is a ninny to marry this absurdly named popinjay Posthumus, who is banished from the court, escapes to France, and falls prey within a moment to the needling of another courtier to set a chastity test for his beloved Imogen. What nonsense.
That's true. We're supposed to regard Posthumus as our hero, but the chastity test thing is pretty gross.
Oh, the lady should have married her stepmother's son, the Prince Cloten, as her father bid her.
But he's a dolt.
Oh, dolt or not, he is royal. And my dear Gage, he is to become king after Cymbeline dies. If the Lady Imogen were not a sentimental Geck, she would marry this prince, be a strong queen over a weak king, and therefore rule herself by proxy. She could take the posthumous lad as a lover, and all would be to her advantage.
You are in a cynical mood today, Philadelphia.
I am out of love, and therefore see with clear eyes again. Thank the gods.
In the first folio, Cymbeline was listed as a tragedy, but it's not exactly a tragic ending. I mean, it's not a Hamlet, Lear, or Othello kind of ending.
Now it's considered more of a romance. It's kind of a fairy tale. It takes place in ancient Britain, but weirdly all wrong. And the king Cymbeline, he loses his sons and they grow up in the woods and he's reunited with them at the end. The war is over. The nasty prince is dead, and the evil, manipulative stepmother, queen, has a sudden repentance and conveniently dies. And Imogen and her husband are reunited, and she weirdly forgives him for this chastity test he set on her.
The play was probably one of Shakespeare's last plays. I guess he was at that stage in his life where he wanted things to work out at the end. Philadelphia, give us the line in the play that uses Geck, our word of the week.
In a dream, Posthumus envisions his dead parents addressing the great god Jupiter and lamenting their son's fate. The father says, "Why did you suffer Iachimo, slight thing of Italy, to taint his nobler heart and brain with needless jealousy, and to become the Geck and scorn of the other's villainy?"
So, Philadelphia, why did you suffer my Lady Bevel, slight thing of the court, to taint your nobler heart and brain with needless jealousy, and to become the Geck and scorn of the other's villainy?
Aha! Nicely done, my dear Gage. But my jealousy was not needless. R.B. was not faultless. But I do not regret setting a chastity test for R.B., as he failed most miserably. I am not the Geck and scorn of Lady Bevel's villainy. She may have the faithless R.B. with all my blessing. Avaunt! There are more gallants in London and the court than are dreamt of in the silly Geck Lady Bevel's philosophy. So give heed to the files. Add some 16th century sauce to your vocabulary with Geck. Listen in next time. Don't miss a word. Subscribe on YouTube and give me a like.